Hey guys, today I'm going to start a tutorial series of how to play World of Warships. This is from literally starting up, downloading the game, getting tier 1 boats, the right start tier, and working your way towards these things. Now, I know this may be a bit more wordy than gameplay, but I'll get to more gameplay in a minute. This is all about basic understanding of things. Now, my first tutorial here covers understanding your ship. So each ship has a playstyle that varies from every other ship in the game. Some are very similar. It's common for ship lines to have similar characteristics. So if we go down to ships here, you can see these are ship lines. So this thing here, Pavoisi, Genevi, Mince, Tashkent, Bo-Katar, Svetlana, Kirov, Bajoni. All these lines, that's the ship line here. It's a different ship line. It's a different ship line. These are also the nations, of course. So you've got the UK, you've got Japan, USA, and these are also national boats. These national boats share similar characteristics as well. So there's similarities, don't get me wrong, but each ship has got a different playstyle. Some may have extra guns, but each ship overall has a different playstyle. And the more you understand about the ship, the more you should be able to take advantage of its strong points and try to mitigate the weak points about that ship. Now, there's multiple ways to find out the characteristics and features of a ship. Okay? So, multiple ways. First thing, ship type. These are types here. Okay? You see, I'm going to go to tier 3 for the sake of this. Okay? You have a destroyer. Okay? These are, you'll learn how to play these types of ships. I'm not going to go into too much detail here. These are for a later tutorial, but these are destroyers, identified by the triangle symbol here. These are cruisers, identified by the ship symbol with a line through it. And then these are battleships. Because if you're in one of these classes, it should help decide how you actually are meant to play. So, also another one, you've got the stats page. Now how to do this, you go press square to ship options, upgrades and loadout. Okay, you can see the upgrades and what you want to run in the ship. You want aiding systems, it'll tell you all about what you want for these boats. It gives you dispersion, secondary firing range, gun battery, rotation, and then unique upgrades for that ship. This one's fully researched, so you can see it's fully done. But let's go to the loadout. You can see reload time for ammunition cells, fire chance, damage, AP shell damage, firing range, reload time, the consumables on offer, and then these boosters, which are unique for every ship has this, and every ship has camouflage. And then you go to the stats. You press R1 now, you go to stats. You take a look at all these traits here. Survivability, that's how much health you have. The armor scheme, at the minute we don't have anything reliable on that, so unfortunately that's not very helpful. Torpedo damage reduction, you know, simple as it says. Tells you the gun caliber, tells you the range, reload time, shell turning time, HE shell damage, secondary armaments, what you have, what's the reload, what's their range, and what's their damage. Stuff like that. Maneuverability, everything. The more you look into these things, the more you find out, and the more you learn how to play these ships. As a help, the game is trying to provide you with an overview to help you get the gist of how to play the ship, but unfortunately, the way they've structured these things are not very accurate. As an example, let's go down. I know we're jumping up quite a bit tier here, but let's going up to tier 6 here. Bam here. This torpedo damage here, 9,233. That's a very low damage torpedoes. This is tier 6, is a very high tier. Now if we go down to tier 6 here, and we just go for the British tier 6, sorry, tier 3. Tier 3 boat. You can see the torpedo damage is 11,000. This tier 3 is already higher than this boat, so the torpedo damage in this boat is not very high. Though, according to the overview, it's got big yield, which is completely inaccurate. So this overview page is not very accurate. I would not put much faith into it. You want to use the stats page here, and you want to be using that for figuring out the ship. A third way of doing this, by the way, finding out about your ship, is the national line. This game has national characteristics for each ship, for each nations, so forth. So all these nations here have characteristics that are unique to them. So, for example, the Russian battleships, as an example, are very close. They want to brawl. They're very close-in brawlers. They like to get in there and get in the action as quickly as possible. They don't have much range. They prefer to get into fights. Again, same with the Russian destroyers. Their torpedoes are only 4 kilometers, but they have a lot of gun range. They're both for kiting and running away, running gunboats. They're gunboats, so not very good torpedo boats for the most part. So, Russian boats will play similar to other Russian boats. American boats will play very similar to other American boats. They change it around. They have these national traits that you learn as you develop, as you play more and more. The Germans are very brawly. They've got these turtleback armor schemes. They're known for having good armor. Stuff like that. It goes forth like that. You'll see this and you'll learn this more as you play the game. So that's 3 times, and then that's 3 ways to figure out how to play the ship. There's 2 more. There's the X Factor, a unique version, unique only to that ship. The only thing that it separates it from, the main thing it separates it from everything else. Like, for example, this is more commonly done with premium ships. If you go for this tier 5 premium destroyer here, that's French. It's the Aigle, or the Agile, or whatever you want to call it. It's the only French destroyer with a smokescreen. So this is the Aigle's X Factor. This is the key, unique feature of this ship. And because you have the smokescreen, you can do a lot more than if you didn't have the smokescreen, with equivalent tier 5 for the Gaspar. The difference is there. These are differences, unique parts that are different from the other line, unique to its ship as itself. A lot of boats will have these unique features. It's more common in premium boats. Like this Ogdovoy is more of a torpedo focused boat, and usually the Russians are not torpedo focused. So stuff like this, shirts you get some torpedo reload booster, stuff like that. You know, these are all unique factors, things that separate the boat from other boats of the same tier or even the same line. These things are help identify how you want to play the boat and how you can play it differently, or more aggressively, or less aggressively, or something like that. The fifth way to get to know your ship is simply by playing it. So if you pick a boat and you find out you want to know which of these do you like to start off with. If I pick the Weymouth, and I found out it only uses armor piercing, it's got the damage control, I found out everything I want to know about it. If I actually get into a game with it, I can find out so much about it, because I can find out how the armor works, I can find out how punchy the shells are. So by playing the boat, simply you can see what it can take, what it can't take, how punchy the shells are. As I said before, you can watch out how well the shells work, what angles do you reliably pen stuff in, do you not pen things, is it slow boat. You can find out again from the stats page. The more you look at these things, the more you know about the ship and you know best to play it. Like this Weymouth only has armor piercing, so I know I want to catch broadside targets, I want to make use of the armor piercing. The British shells have an improved armor penetration because they only have armor piercing. This is something you wouldn't know though, but you would find out they only have armor piercing from the stats page, and they have the surgical shell thing from the overview. You find all this stuff out. You can find this out by playing it. You say, well, alright, every time I'm heading a boat here, I'm not getting very many bounces. I'm getting a lot of pens, I'm getting citadels. You see this, the AP on this thing is very good. It's probably better so than other boats. In terms of squishiness, I've lost a relatively high amount of health from splashes. Not really taking much AP fire there. So you can see this, like, it's all about working out what the ship's good at. So it doesn't seem very tanky, shall I say, but it does well at dishing out AP salvos. Look at that again. More pens. It's very good at getting penetrations, and that's good for getting damaging. See, there we go. Another citadel. Lots of citadels. It's all about how you play the ship. The more you get to know it. This applies to every ship type in the game, and I feel it's worth featuring for the first video. I'd like to stress this as it's very important because this thing is going to be a series, and I strongly advise you as a new player to watch the entire guide, or as much as you want to watch, as much as you can, before going into battle with higher tiers and get yourself sunk unnecessarily. Because the more you do this, the more you get used to the ships at these tiers, and the more you get the hang of these things, the better you'll be. So it's okay with staying in AI. Wait till you're ready to go to standard, where you're fighting actual players. Just take the time, you'll see. See, I can't hit the thing because it's a sinking ship there, but I've done a lot of damage to this guy. That's the back gun there. You can tell by the bottom indicator. See how the white turrets there on the bottom of the screen? You can see when they're loaded, they'll be showing up as white. Anyway, that's the game for there. You can see how effective this boat is using just this armor piercing. 11 citadels. That's essentially critical hits. I'll go into more of this later, of course. I hope this helps for the first tutorial, and I'll catch you next time. Bye bye for now.